They make the decision to drop him. A lot of kind of drama comes up, talking about maybe how he's not the most talkative player in the world, things like that. But then he joins MIBR as the only English-speaking player on a Brazilian roster and rebrands himself as an excellent player, proves he's the guy who was so good in Tier 2. But now an opportunity at Champions to make top 3 with MIBR by knocking NRG, the team that dropped him down below. Yep. It's such a sick narrative for him.
Yeah.
It's Arten baiting here. Are we going to be seeing the double duelist? Are we going to see the KO? Some still has not locked it down, so I guess we'll have to wait. But
yeah.
Would you be down for a double duelist on the side of
down.
MIBR?
I've been critical of some of Arten's individual play on the Yoru, but he's looked a lot better as a player as of late, but it's not going to be today.
Better. The KO's
I think
better.
You do get a lot more utility, and his KO is really good. That makes a lot of sense. To me, this is the story of Aspas against that Harbor. He used to play into this comp so often. It was his team a couple years ago that innovated it. So how much can he get done? How much can NRG shut him down?
Yeah, Arten, as we were saying on the KO, when we speak about this map, we speak about the Harbor, we speak a lot about mid. We expect also to see Brock and Mada trying to fight for that space, and probably Arten has the biggest task of them all.
Yeah, he most definitely does. He's going to have to really hone in with that KO, but he has been excellent with it. This is going to be a great match, and let's go ahead and send it over to your casters. A little bit of a treat for you. We've got a great duo. It's Pansy and Sideshow.
Yeah, thank you, GB. Just left Mike in the dirt, really, didn't I? Upgrade.
Unlucky.
No, I'm kidding. But I do want to speak about kind of these two teams in this scenario, right? Upper semifinals. This is a huge achievement as it is, and over delivery across the board, in my mind, from both these squads, looking so good as they scaled up towards this point.
It really has flipped the expectations for America's teams completely on its head. You're expecting to see G2 and Sentinels, who've made the finals of basically all of those domestic tournaments, apart from the most recent one. And both of those teams are gone. They are no longer in the tournament, and instead you've got NRG, MIBR, one of them guaranteed a top 3 here. And it's always been Aspas in the past.
True.
But I don't know who to pick as the favorite in this one. Both teams, like you said, playing some brilliant Valorant recently.
Yeah, if you're going off of just the touch base of form leading to this point, it's hard to split the two apart, really. I mean, NRG absolutely took me by surprise in that form they just hit, but MIBR, you can't doubt them. Regardless, we dive in, NRG on the attack, MIBR on the defense. Where's your mind going as we lead into this standard kind of 1-3-1?
Well, NRG have been fantastic on their attack sides, which is a bit unusual because we know them as a very defense-sided team. But up against EDG gave them some serious troubles. And there's a lot of Sheriffs out here, 3 for NRG, looking to take these long-range duels across mid.
Yeah, Spike still far off. I am looking at the extremity over towards A as well. The fact they've taken some deep space, looking to really maybe play an Arten if they do get the chance on this. But for now, Pathing still eyeing up towards B.
Som's used double cascades over here to try to push off Aspas from this aggressive line, or at least deny him some opportunity to take space. And Aspas has just stayed on top of that B container. He's not worried about somebody peeking him from a different angle. Has kept 3, though, on the B side of the map, and it's going to be difficult to figure out exactly where Artesine and Shenam are. Really easy for them to bait like there's only one in this corner.
How diligent are you, NRG? It's step by step, put in front of the other, but the first man strikes well. But the paranoia call this... No way. Get out of here! You're not going to get more than that. Great work from Marder. Picking up the second opens up that pathway. The rotations are far off. This is a comfortable plant.
No particular post-plant utility, though, for them to work with. Marder taking another important duel, already 2 in the round. You know him for those multi-kill rounds.
Yeah. And he's been absolutely wild so far. A treat to watch. Looking comfortable on big stages, but up against him, big names as well. Start moving. Aspas first to go for a little bit of a challenge. Chip on the way out, but dipping away safely towards main.
No smokes for this diffuse.
Got Dart forcing the fight. It's Scuba to swing in first. Marder's still here trying to keep Aspas pinned down behind that smoke pretty much. And again, that time is playing the sweet song for NRG. They know they can play this perfectly now. Verno's options become 0 as Aspas falls. NRG composed on this pistol. Very
much so. They had that double bait and switch setup, MIBR, and as soon as Mada got the trade on the second and navigated that situation, it's the smoke going down, it's Shenam falling that doesn't really give you the opportunities to play that diffuse properly afterwards. There's a chance here that Arnazine gets played in for a massive double, triple kill, but
Yeah.
Anything on pistol? No!
and they're referencing there the fact that their pistol rounds have not actually been great at this tournament so far. MIBR have been far, far better. So if NRG are getting those on the board, it's a great beginning. And their comp scales much harder with the ults, I would say. So in this round where they're expected to be able to rack up a bunch of kills on MIBR and start those going, you know, you're looking towards people like Som and Brock as a combo, Mada and Brock as a combo, Scuba can take a site on his own with an ult. This comp is fantastic for those ult cycles on the attack side.
I like what we're seeing from NRG, though. Just the tempo of coming into this, very cautious here, not wanting to fall foul to any sort of stack either. Obviously, we can see there is that 3 play over towards A this time, that supplement of Aspas over there, and Verno as well. And just kind of accepting the loss of B at this point. You're going to take a gamble here, but again, buy-wise, well, they can afford to lose 2 for NRG. You'd be happy enough, otherwise you do want to keep at least the 2 rifles in play.
And it shouldn't particularly be an expensive round. You want to try to keep those kind of things up. It's about prioritizing a certain ult to get those snowballs started early. It's very difficult to contest through this harbor wall as well that goes up. It's really tough. Abyss is a difficult map to defend at the best of times. And I think against this comp, it can be so difficult for even Aspas when he's looking for an aggressive line to find a place on the map that he can fight.
Yeah. See what he can achieve in this. Again, only with the classic, you're looking at the Sheriff.
This is a die to spike round.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, this is a throw yourself off the map round, to be honest. I don't even know why you'd take the risk of going forwards like this, but the biggest thing is you want to deny NRG from building up towards these ults.
And there's a couple players sticking close by, right? They're getting dangerously close.
It's okay if they feed to Ethan here, but anybody else, it's a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, look, Mada not a million miles away. See if anyone can capitalize on the bodies nearby. I guess the temptation calling, but no one's going to be crossing that final line forward. It may be Artisan. Hello, that's a player spotted. And again, building towards those ults, but the formality of the round will be giving up to the spike, so no real excitement to be had.
Lawrence, if you're going to die to the spike anyway, just throw yourself off and save us some time. Save us 30 seconds,
what
please.
What both are think? Come on, come on, that's what's in their mind there.
That's true. They don't want to disrespect the game.
Correct. But 2-0, you are very right. There is a question mark why they made us suffer for so long.
But okay. You've got a slow approach here early on from Ethan's calling, something that he's actually been doing great at on the attack side here at Champs, something that we've been critical of in Americas, but he's done a great job kind of adapting and growing to the game. He's not had to be tested on Bind or Sunset, though, and this is another game again where the map pool looks great for both teams.
Yeah, I don't say I doubted Ethan, but I think seeing the best of Ethan in the past, I didn't know if he'd be able to suit and complement that role, but I'm learning to eat my words here. Aspas out on a limb and just going to be severed at this point. Som with a swift one and able to fall away with 0 trade.
Som has been putting that cascade into Aspas' face over and over again, and there's never been danger behind it as yet. But that time posts himself up on an off angle and gets the better of Aspas. You just can't have good crosshair placement there. Aspas is not going to be able to play that line in big rifle rounds again, really.
It's only going to condition that touch of doubt if they do decide to dare play it again. But at this point, NRG with a man to the good, about the 50-second marker. Options are kind of theirs.
Yeah.
Spike dropped.
If they do manage to come out and win this round, Som's going to tick up closer and closer to his harbor ult. So this one is so important that Cortesia, Verno are able to put up resistance.
You can kind of feel it coming now, can't you? Verno, slightly on that deeper off angle, will at least evade the paranoia, but now going to be darted out here. Cortesia, somewhat isolated. 3-man swing, it's stunning. Cortesia, though, still alive. But look at this layering. Up top, tries to divide and conquer. It's brutally hard. Som doing wonders for the side. Plant's now in, and that ult is now within touching distance. It is in. Game on, pretty much, and this is a save.
Yeah, this is a save, and like I'm talking, the ult snowball online really, really early. A beautiful idea from NRG. Both of these teams are known for good ideas on the pistol, good ideas on the bonus, but I got to tell you, Bonkar's been really, really impressive since coming back to NRG. This combo of Bonkar, Ethan, and how they've worked together to develop some great ideas, I've been enormously impressed with. Because, again, here, look, they got a very set game plan. They know that Aspas is always going to be holding on this little high ground over towards B, and that's going to allow them to push a cascade up in his face, hop on an off angle, and play that.
Yeah, it's been that touch of repetition that could be the downfall. The 3 clean rounds. And I think you're right. It is the approach. It seems quite clinical, very methodical, very aware of what MIBR would like to be doing. So for NRG, brilliantly prepped on this. And there it is, just right in front of your eyes. You can see it almost kind of won and lost in that moment. It felt like Som doing marvelous on site. But by this point, it's done.
By the time they get into the site as well, they've got a beautiful flash recon combo to push Verno out too. So it's not even like Verno could break the recon and try to help Cortezia on site. They're dismantling slowly what MIBR have put together. NRG used to be a pretty heavy anti-team, but I don't think of them like that anymore. But this opening, definitely going back to what, you know, the kind of style that Finesse used to like with this squad.
Variety here. Much higher emphasis towards mid, at least to set up Marder to go walkabouts. Imply so, but it is going to be the site hit again. The paranoia about that mid pressure is now going to force them into the corner. There's that layering of the ult from Som. The site looking good here. Aspas can't really find a corner to play from. Does he find any sort of safety to try and swing? You can see the layering to this. It is so oppressive to try and play from. You got to give it up.
And now how do you win the retake here? With 3 pistols and only 2 weapons.
Glance in, you got the 2 rifles, and that's about all she wrote for it. Too much utility left with NRG, but the weaponry might just be enough to do it on its own. Let's see, Ethan, be careful in this. Gonna try and take a step forward up into that smoke. Do remember, these are pistols here. These are sheriffs. That's one of the Phantoms gone. That's the other rifle dropped. And you're left at the 3 who had very little to play with. Yeah, Verno's done well here. Cortezia as well. But Som's still standing. Holds the line. And basically puts a full stop to the end of the round. NRG absolutely locked in.
Small silver lining there for MIBR is that at least Som used the ultimate to open up on an anti-eco. But he's almost halfway back to another ult. And he's helped power up the other ults. For example, Scuba starting to get closer, Mada starting as well. Next round is MIBR's best chance of stabilizing because there's no ults on the board for the attackers and they can get an op online, start to try to play their game. But Bonkar is hype. This is the way that the Giants game began, by the way.
Yep.
Really clean start for NRG. Bonkar's screaming, gets to about, I don't know, 7-1 the lead or something, and he started relaxing a little, and he's like, okay, we're completely in control of this game. I think if NRG win the next, you might start to see that little relaxation happen that Aspas is demonstrating.
It doesn't look so relaxed from the coach camp, however. Looking a little bit worried about this, and I don't blame you considering how we've got to this point at 4-0. Obviously, the timeout here for MIBR. And it'll be a horrible wake-up call, right? This is a little bit of a stark contrast to what they'd imagined, as this is their map choice. I'm sure you could have expected a good start from NRG, but maybe not to the caliber we're seeing. We're seeing Aspas on 0-3. This guy's rarely quiet. He'll find a way, right? We've seen this capability in the past, but a very cold beginning.
Well, one of the ways in which you can find value out of Aspas is instead of posting him up with an operator or with a rifle on passive lines, where he's going to get smoked off by Som, you actually send it and go really aggro with double initiator utility and Aspas pushing out through B or out through A at the start of the rounds. But they're not opting for that. They haven't gone for any of that aggression. Even on the eco where they lined 3 up towards B main, they didn't push, they just waited for NRG. So at the moment they are letting NRG, the attackers, dictate all of the tempo.
That scares me because it feels so readable that they're going to post up Aspas towards middle potentially, maybe just give them that freedom to rotate, but let's see. This has not been a good spot to play from. It has been very well considered, mostly by Som on those key rounds, but still, paranoia in and a little bit of stall. This could at least allow time for those rotations to come in, but a scramble from NRG.
Yeah, they don't like the look of it. Artazine is over here, Cortezia as well. I thought maybe in the back of their head that MIBR stacked this site, but they make a lot of noise, faking like they're running away. And we're going to see at some point here the re-hit back into B, but Aspas has got a tingle. He's headed in this direction.
They've burnt up some of the key pieces of utility, though. That paranoia now not being there brought Brony a little bit off as curiosity. No. You've got to be able to land something on this. But that's information, I guess. Now Aspas in the right place, but you lose down 1. Not landing the shot. Aspas also ready to say it, and he's not quite there. Sight now under scrutiny. Spike on the way up. You still have Cortezia trying to live amongst them. Takes away Ethan. This is the best fight they've had yet. A brilliant follow-up as well. MIBR digging their heels into this round. Down to 2. As this looks finally like they found a rhythm.
That stabilization had to come from MIBR in this round. They were risking going down onto an eco again, and NRG, all of their ults coming back online. So this was desperate territory, and I was very worried when Artazine makes a push like that. and whiffs everything. But Cortesia, inside a smoke, this is how you need to anchor. If you're going to try and do it on B, you got to be living inside those smokes.
What heroics from him, though. Uncharacteristic whiff from Aspas. Weird positioning coming out, pushing forward on that KO, getting somewhere, you know, in no man's land. But Cortesia, that might just be the spark they needed. NRG, though, can go right back to business. Let's see if there's an adjustment in play, potentially. Already Aspas, much different position.
Yeah, very tucked up. Ethan dodges the dart on the other side of things, and that might invite Aspas and Verno to go for a little bit of a push. Aspas is ops on a really weird line at the moment. You'd think he wants to get it a bit deeper. This is such an odd spot to play against the Yoru ult.
Oh, God. Oh, God. We've got a way out, right? Pull the cord. Get out of there. Marta, spot the retreat. Play into the smoke. Got to be careful now, though. And they're falling back far on this. They don't want to take any risks on this scale-up coming out from NRG. Looking for the plant to come in. Someone's going to be at the helm of this. That's going to have no problems to it just yet. Oh, well, okay. Aspas right above the 2 layers of utility. Going to pluck away Marta. This could be a good springboard and that potential play coming in. Another. You can't forget about Aspas in this. Pixel's out of place and he's going to find them every time. Some chip damage here. Down to the 3 to over-excel in this position. Brock looking for someone to try and peek out through heaven, but they know their lines here. 2 players now working back in. It's getting tense on the site. Flank now coming in as well. That's going to be on the line. It's a clear up. MIBR out of nowhere looking firmly in control, and Aspas given 2 key kills.
Given 2 easy ones, to be honest, to get himself back on the board for the first time in this match. He was trying to play on a very uncomfortable line, and I think NRG just don't quite realize this angle exists, because when Mana went down, he must have been commenting that was through the smoke rather than being over the top of the high tide.
Perfect round, guys. Let's go, let's go.
It's his opportunity.
That's hard, but
Cortesia is the hype man for this squad. That's a new role that he's been picking up over the last couple of months, trying to keep the energy high for the team. But NRG themselves looking one away from getting 2 massive ults with Som and Scuba. So this ult orb over towards A main, a key target.
Yeah, but Aspas getting pretty lively on those extremities. Saw it over towards A in the previous. Now on B, taking those deep lines, but this looks pacey. 3-2 split potentially coming in towards A. Cortesia has been the backbone. He can't break now. Pressure through middle, going to spot out 2. Now feels the attention coming through A main. They've got 2 players up here. This is risky. NRG sweep them. That's beautiful work from them. And MIBR funneling back through the choke point. This could be their death, but for now, Wong comes in. Stability found, but a 5v3.
Very tough, especially against Scuba's Steel Garden. Those 2 players from NRG in Heaven were pinched on both sides, and Ethan just made the call, we gotta send it. Ran through Cortesia's cage, and have put MIBR in a horrible spot.
They're going for this, though, or at least they're, until then. That was enough to draw out the ult and back away. Aspas is still around and does have the ult prepared in hand, but you're not getting much play on this. NRG, lovely decision-making to fight forward in that choke.
Yeah.
Catch the 2 out, and that was pretty much slam dunk.
They've got some really nice tech here, NRG. Over towards B, they're putting a Cascade and a Vice Flash, so if the Vice Flash pops, you know someone's in front of the Cascade. Great opening protocol. Here in this round, they go for the A split. Ethan Omen TPs into Vent before it's ever broken, and that allows him just to clear out all of that space, establish a good position, and then a teammate comes and meets him. And then, like I said, a really good decisive call to the 2 of them push in as Scuba goes up the rope, and they fight into A Heaven with 3. It definitely could have gone wrong. MIBR had defenders there, but they just find the right timing. Thread the needle. And Som's back to having another ultimate as soon as they can play for this orb.
But Aspas is here at least. I just wonder if he's going to get called off. Again, there's a little bit of worry in my mind about Aspas at this point, and you'd already noted those protocols scaling up to this.
Yes, but if the knife comes through, they won't be able to go for the flash, and he's looking for the player that goes up top. Okay? Scuba actually hangs back, doesn't get caught by that suppression, and is able to go for it. And now, because the flash caught someone, they know there's aggression coming out here for MIBR.
Careful.
I don't know that they'll expect Aspas to be on Cliff, though, looking on this angle towards Heaven. It's a weird one.
Deep have they considered this, right? Verno's at a glance now, maybe could consider they're sitting pretty passive on this, but if you'd expect it towards that minute mark, we've not felt too much over towards A either. Casual rotation coming in as well, bolstering the numbers on B.
I really think they'll expect Verno, but there's a chance here for Aspas.
There's a chance, you can't forget about that man. Ethan going to be removed instantaneously. almost played in on this. Having Verno up there as well, catching the attention. The strike coming in from Aspas himself.
Ethan went for a little jiggle there, but Aspas just too quick, and they trade out his life for Som's ultimate. Scuba getting into a very deep position here, though, and facing the Aspas op again.
Omnipresent work, though, from Aspas. Hard to get away from this guy. Keep your eyes on the spike, also scaling up this way, but going to dive through towards that A site. All going to come in, force away too. This is a lot of pressure on that golden Artson. Going to take away Marta. The cross can be watched, and there's the delivery. Aspas not allowing any movement. As Som, there's nowhere to go here. Brilliant reaction. An answer from MIBR in the smallest of ways, but Aspas on that start was the perfect cure to their woes.
Early in this half, NRG had such good ideas of how to stop what Aspas is generally want to be going for. And now he's had to switch things up and play in spots that you wouldn't usually see him, but he's still getting good value. The patience there with MIBR pushing forward. They knew that their aggression had been detected by the Vice Flash, but they just held their ground completely. Real large amount of faith in Cortesia to lock down the other side of the map alone, too.
Very much so. It is again, got to say, credit again, in my mind when it comes to Aspas, not being the standout kind of, you know, frag movie player at times, but these couple of kills here, absolutely essential to outcome. But enough's happened. NRG dislike this adjustment and just want to have a check back in on the boys. So a closer game now. I was a little bit worried on those first four that we were going to have an absolute one-sided affair, but we actually have a little bit of a game.
And I think I think the momentum has now decided to flip because you've got no ults available for NRG. They're pretty close to getting down onto an eco themselves. This next round is not going to decide it, but a couple definitely could. And you're starting to get up to some big retake ults too. Cosmic Divide available for Xeno. Artisan's going to have the null command to be able to work with in one of these rounds that can really allow you to flood in and stop, for example, Som refreshing those walls in your face all the time. So there are serious chances for MIBR to get back into this half and maybe even take a lead. So I like the timing here of Bonkar going for the tack timeout, looking to adjust something. Early ideas are a little out of date now.
Let's see the depth here as well. NRG have been tested so far. This hasn't been a completely smooth run for them through Champions. I don't think many people would ever get that. So they have been tested in the past, maybe not by MIBR in this regard. Let's see how this looks. As you said already, a couple of key ults in play and a couple not far off. NRG, what's the adjustment now?
Fairly similar kind of look to Open here, just putting that cascade over towards B and more aggressively fighting for A main control.
Cutting through.
But the spike's not committed. This is not an A hit. NRG just making it feel like it could be. Drawing defenders over there.
A heavier emphasis. Bodies behind it too. Utility coming in. It has drawn a reaction, right? You can already see it. I was certainly considering that, but
now they're starting to feel like it's a fake, especially because the cascade went up towards B. But having said that, Verno's just droned out B main and not seen a thing. So I think MIBR have got the right read here. Bodies should start going back towards the A site.
Yeah, very slippery work from NRG, but MIBR figuring out an Aspas in the right place at the right time. You're already going to have the players now trying to be slowed down and hindered on their way back through. NRG has to respect it. 45, they go for the hit, and it's a miss! But Aspas there doesn't miss those often. Cortesia, the 1-2 punch. The site is under the MIBR banner all day long. It felt like they doubted themselves for a second. You saw the hesitation.
30 seconds left.
They got back in time. And they looked like an immovable force at that point. Scuba's options are near on zero.
Gonna try to take this engagement and gets caught by Artazine.
Brilliant.
Ults online. Defenders in a great spot. MIBR have made all the adjustments that they need to. And yeah, really solid defensive reads of what was going on here. What I'm a bit confused by is where are the attacking smokes in this kind of situation? They're leaving a lot of these avenues available for MIBR to try to take a fight through heaven, swing in through backside. Didn't really feel like it was well put together that round. I'd like to see them work mid a little more, but I think they're scared that Aspas could be opping in this spot. Usually the cascades are going to be enough for you to get onto uncomfortable positions and test the jet. Som alone gets caught by that knife. Makes it feel like they're defaulting rather than all grouped up outside B.
Feel a little bit like shadow boxing between these two, trying to get that information going both ways. No over-rotations from that MIBR side either. Already going to be heading back towards B. Cortesia expecting it enough to start slipping away as the plant obviously coming in now. Early owl drone to try and support some of this pressure. It's worked. Marta's gone down. That is a big loss on the front lines. Aspas looking to try to get themselves a springboard in, but the site's still got 2 players now. Make it 3.
You have to play on site here against the Cosmic Divide.
Yeah, forced forward and now starting to fall. Aspas step from above. Gonna pull himself. Som can't do it all himself. A quick look from Brock, but it's down to Scuba. The 1v3 ain't gonna be happening. MIBR fully in the rhythm of this now. Largely in control. Understanding what NRG has been trying to do.
Yeah, the adaptations have been really nice, and here's the value out of these ultimates I was talking about. Of course, Mada goes down early, and that doesn't help NRG, but they have to play in awkward cliff post-plant positions because you're getting boxed in by that Cosmic Divide, and then Ardazine's taken away all of your tools to be able to work with. MIBR have got back to a great position in this map. And Cortesia has got great reason to be excited, 11-4.
He's doing brilliantly. Absolutely wondrous to watch as well. Not only the hype man, but certainly bringing it in the server too.
This, though, should be a bit of a slam dunk round. Mada can just pop his ultimate, get in there, try to bring the pressure to the A anchors.
Who's next?
What have you got this time? Arda sitting 4-6, not been the biggest performance, but backside now should be certainly noted. So I'm going to find Ardasin. Arda again layers on this one. We're looking for more. It's Som drawing the blood. Marta finally dives into the matter, and you said it. A bit of a clear-cut affair here. Shouldn't be too complicated, and it wasn't.
No, I mean, I'm a little surprised, though, that they didn't try to combo the Yoru and the Soverall. Cortesia on the flank.
Oh, no.
He's been hidden.
Yeah, but look at the 2 players remaining, Aspas and Cortesia. You got to put 3 players, make it 4 to try and handle this. Guy, he's still going down swinging. Aspas.
That's respect.
He's back a little bit closer. I think he might know that the options are kind of gone here, but gives it a little bit of a glance.
He's got money to work with, and a win here would just be forcing out an ult, so pressure is good.
Som's low HP. Aspas, how much can you do to these boys? How much damage can you achieve? Okay, Som will get to live, as do the other 2, Marta and Brock, but as we saw, the amount of bodies they put just to deal with Cortesia then is wild.
It is, and that's an enormous amount of respect for a player that's been doing great. Look at that kill, purely off minimap info. And like I said, really conservative actually from NRG there, only utilizing Mada's ult. That now gives them a Harbor ult, Sover ult combo to be able to maybe get the edge in this final round and avoid it being a tied game. NRG with the initiative here, but looking to explore mid for one of the first times, and that's going to give Aspas an opportunity.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of this, right? It's so indicative now as well with the utility being, it feels obvious.
Yeah, well, we saw them do an A-split before with the Omen ultimate. This round looking like they're faking it, going back in to just do that ult combo on A.
Just you move.
Cortesia sticking around a little late on this, but from afar, Verno.
Oh! Oh!
Oh,
how was that happen?
I don't understand what I've just witnessed.
Has he jumped to avoid a Sover ult coming through?
He must have done, surely.
He's doing the can-con.
Oh, dearie me, it's a 3v5. It's not how you wanted to end this half if you're obviously NRG. Damn, we already seen what Aspas has done from this position. Scuba, you ain't got it in you, Captain. 6-6 on the half. What the hell just happened?
Well, that's a bit of a disaster. I think you can give credit to Verno there for being proactive with his ultimate to try to stop the hit from coming through. I was expecting Som and Brock to be the ones out there with the value, but this ult from Verno. I mean, the pull. Oh, he's just sent his TP off the map. That really is a con-con.
No, truly. We've been here before.
And I'm not talking about the Parisian Cabaret.
And on that note, we're going to hand it over to Lou, standing by with a superfan from MIBR.
Un fan chinois qui a grandi au Brésil, a Chinese fan who grew up in Brazil. Chin just joined me right now. So I heard you've been living in Brazil. You know, you've been supporting the Brazilian teams and stuff. So what makes the Brazilian culture and community so special to you?
When I moved to Brazil, I was welcomed with big hearts by the Brazilian people. They're just such amazing. And Brazilian people just have the most amazing energy out of all the people.
And we can definitely see that on stage too. Donc première question, j'ai su que tu avais habité au Brésil. Qu'est-ce qui fait que cette communauté elle est si incroyable selon toi? Et j'ai été accueillie à bras ouverts. Les Brésiliens sont si chaleureux et ont tellement d'énergie et c'est clair que ça se voit sur le stage. And second, very important question, can you tell me, Chin, why is Aspas the GOAT?
Well, because firstly, he just has the most insane jet we ever seen. He just like jumps out of the map and knifes everybody outside. And secondly, his op is just too fast. And most of all, he just has too much aura. He invented the lean on the chair and close his eyes pose. And he's the best.
Too much aura and a very good jet for sure. Donc c'est pourquoi est-ce qu'Aspas c'est le GOAT, c'est la meilleure jet du monde, c'est le meilleur sniper du monde et il a évidemment inventé la pose où on s'allonge dans la chaise pendant les poses tactiques. Thank you so much. I think you had something to say in Portuguese to the Brazilian community.
Queria mandar salve para a comunidade brasileira de Valorant. Vamos MIBR!
Vamos MIBR, and let's see if the Brazilian boys can get the win on Abyss.
To give credit where it's due here, MIBR woke up after a bit of a brutal start, right? NRG 4 beautiful rounds. They were stunning. Like they had playbook open on the desk, and obviously we are checking in the Coinbase econ report. You can keep your eyes towards that. But the answer back was near on perfection from MIBR.
It really was. When I think about both of these two teams, MIBR are the one where it's simple plans executed well. And I think that once they got the adjustment and once they got the idea that NRG were coming in with, they make that small pivot to their game, and then once they're all on the same page, the execution is really clean from them. So while we were gassing up Bonkar and Ethan for the game plan early on, actually a lot of credit to Verno here, who Frod's been talking about as being that big leader with all the ideas for the team. And what an incredible story Verno's has been over the course of the year, who's now going up against his former squad.
It's going to be a lovely feeling for him getting that read just right after a stark start. To go into the second half, it'll be MIBR on the attack. See NRG on the defense. And tied all even though, but the pace in which we saw it, MIBR certainly waking up in the couple last rounds now. Already very clear-cut approach here.
Ardazine actually missed his knife, so they were worried about somebody still in that back anchor position. Now I think got to read that NRG were all playing from Link. So they don't have to worry about this wall too much.
Does Aspas stay up here? He's been good from this position, but puts a lot on his plate. 10-5, certainly looking like he's on this one, but that utility well placed. Allows them to take the step towards the site here. Aspas re-swings, gonna get a good tag and a good follow-up on towards Brock here. You can see Som already struggling to stay alive. MIBR. Blink and you miss it. That was clear as hell.
Beautiful shooting from the MIBR players, and they even had a safety net in the back. Cortezio was going for that mid-lurk. He wasn't even required. The guy who's at the top of the scoreboard, literally just a backup plan that wasn't needed. MIBR came away with a pistol. Some great shooting in difficult positions here from Aspas. And Verno providing covering fire as well. More of an on-site setup in the post plan, something that NRG was struggling with. But MIBR make it look good.
Yeah, that's a line set early on.
Well, if you can play on-site post plans like that, you don't have to be as worried about NRG's retakes. They've got so many smokes. If you play off-site, it can be really tough. But if you're happy scrapping like that, no worries.
Yeah.
Now this is nerdy, is what we call this.
Is it?
Yeah. You actually get banned if you do this in ranked games for sweating too hard.
I see. I see. Perspiring all over the B site. But I think MIBR might be figuring this out too, that there's been no signs of life anywhere else. And look, here we go.
Well,
see, NRG off the map. Love
you're
that.
You're not going to get the plan. Unfortunate. There's an ult denied. Optimized gameplay there from NRG.
Sweaty.
Very.
And smart.
Yeah, very. But if we're talking about the flashy stuff, that's coming through from MIBR, and this is another round to lean on that. The fundamentals, the mechanics. They've had a lot of games where they've just outshot their opponents to such a high degree. Even the map that they took off Fnatic was mostly them just contacting around the place and beating them up.
Beating up poor Fnatic.
Yeah.
Don't say that to me. You know
I don't think you can say poor Fnatic after they just had that comeback as well.
I know. All right. Hold on. A little bit of early pressure here. Speaking of scraps and brawling, MIBR do look like they're up for the fight. Austin already taking space. We're going to fall off this. Draws a lot of a reaction.
It's was a really good timing, actually, for NRG to get back in with that high tide, because they dodged Hardecine's knife, and then they're back in with still those abilities to work with. But they've had to give up mid, and already Cortesia, so confident, because he's been winning every duel, he's taken an enormous amount of space early.
I don't even blame you. You've got to kind of call your own number up sometimes if you know you've got a hot hand in the game. Already, yes, there's awareness from NRG. There's a possibility someone slipped the net, but Cortesia can hold this. This makes rotations brutally hard.
And Raw going all the way through Spawn. Cortesia is going to hear this, though he doesn't hear Som. Actually, now, Body's coming back over. Ethan with a shot.
Yeah, belting shot. Cortesia then strikes, though. Takes that timing, try and work up middle. Put NRG back under the gun, and Som having to wait patiently. Aspas looking for his opportunity at the same time, but it's Verno who's fallen. Cortesia, gap closing in. A threat through and through. And now with the smoke dropping, he goes down. Som holds the ground. You don't expect a second, though, and Aspas is still working on the site. This is where it could all change. Shut up! What? Yeah, you took all that time and we're going to run at the end. I know it was getting late, but damn! 8 seconds now. There's very few players who can pull off miracles like this, and I think even Aspas knows this one is a little too far. As the time will dwindle, that felt like it missed a couple of key opportunities there for MIBR.
There were a couple of duels actually taken by the players over towards B that they crucially lost. And I think had they been able to get, you know, this kill happening, Mada also getting a pick there. If these had not gone the way of NRG, I think they were in a really bad positional problem. But again, good awareness from NRG, realizing they need to force fights.
Yeah.
And they come out with the win, just as we were praising MIBR for looking like the slightly sharper team when it comes to the mechanics.
They got gunners on NRG. Let's see if it all comes through. Mada a little bit quieter than what I've been enjoying from him, but still, early doors here. Map 1.
Yeah, he's definitely had some big recoveries, even on Abyss, actually. Game against EDG, which was a slapper of a map.
I don't think I've ever heard a map called a slapper before. No.
Well, you've been in Germany for too long.
Yes, that's probably what it is.
Those are duels in pretty similar
Sorry?
positions from the same players as last round. Ethan and Mada
Are we just
so comfortable on that angle, apparently.
Are we just sitting here in a replay? Don't see either of them. Prius, wakey, but
also, you kind of have to save in this spot, don't you?
it's a cancel unless, what, Cortesia gets you 2?
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting a lot on this guy, and they are so aware of this. Look at NRG's positions. Super aware, even at the loss of 1. They're fine. Mada's still got the ground for this. 48 seconds. He is still scrambling for this.
Shenom has a gun that will one-shot all of NRG, but he doesn't really want to save it for the next.
It's not a pretty look, is it? Surely you say. I mean,
They're going for it.
Seconds left.
Prove me wrong. Make me a believer. I'm down for it. Verno, gonna get the plant at least. You've got to be looking at that outlaw, finding the value here as well. It can't be quiet in this. Has to be instrumental. Still got an owl drone, but utility-wise, you're kind of looking at what you got.
Well, that is a rough smoke. I mean, they'll have another one. Ethan's got one in his back pocket that he can put on the spike. But are they aware that that's a bad one?
That's the consideration, isn't it? Is that intentional or just simply awful? But Scuba's going to find Verno for free. And that's the smoke that probably is going to do the job, and it is. Ethan, safe pair of hands at the end. And it was the start that kind of defined the round within a couple of seconds. 2 quick kills, and the rest was all very, very obvious.
Take a look at how these actually happen.
Oh.
Are they both through? Okay, so Mada at least takes an honest duel against the other duelist on the other side, but the other straight through a smoke. And I think that MIBR here might be starting to get the read that NRG are waiting out the knife, so they were looking to do something a bit more contacty into B, thinking there'd be nobody home and they'd be waiting out that knife time in, and instead, NRG just take the duels and are happy. Mada's talked about it actually in interviews before, that it doesn't matter how bad he starts a map, he just plays the rounds exactly the same as if he's, you know, as if he's got the confidence.
It's a pretty good mentality to have. You've seen Kayak in EMEA had a similar thing before. He's had some absolute stinkers of beginnings, but mentality-wise keeps it in a very good place. It's nice to see a kind of parallel here. Some of those younger-looking talents.
And it's a massive difference between the two duelists, isn't it? You've got one of your greatest of all-time candidates going up against a rookie who's been phenomenal. Mada set the ace record in Americas over players like Aspas, who've had 2 more years to be able to put up those numbers.
Obscene, isn't it? Hard to not be a fan of Marder. So see if he does start to eat in a little by his own level of performance. Now a 1-for-1 trade out the buy is being for MIBR, but aspas is still sharp as ever, doing exactly what the doctor ordered. We spoke about him, Marder, give us a bailout here. Show me what you can do. 56-7. Oh. I think Cortesia just heard this. Oh, Marder, that was filthy, but the shot's still nice from Cortesia. All too aware. Keeping them absolutely contained. I'm round by round and game by game, I get to watch Cortesia. How can you not love this guy in action? Outdoing aspas numerically, which is already nuts. And the way he's just so good at this map control, the way he plays it out. Brilliant stuff.
Look how nice that stun was as well, actually, from Xenom. aspas dashes into his Cloudburst and gets 2 free ones. Playing quite passively as a duelist again, but taking the smartest of fights. Only looking to take that engagement once its opponents are stunned. And NRG, stunned themselves, are going to have to take another tag timeout. That's their second one burned now.
Yep.
As we head into round 18. That's a pretty devastating round to lose because MIBR were on a weak bye. NRG thought that they were going to take the lead. Instead, still trailing, still chasing after such a great start to this map.
Yeah, and you can imagine the position they would have been in, right? They'd have these ults coming through now, a couple much closer, Scuba only 2 away. The buy's still serviceable, but it's certainly not pretty.
Bonkar, always very vocal in these kind of moments, rattling out commands of what he wants to be adjusted. Now clearly, you can see in that round that MIBR have a good protocol for if NRG try to flood defend on A. So that might be what he's trying to adjust. Maybe he wants a little more aggression. Maybe he wants them to not focus on aspas too much when he's diving in initially, because he is just looking to pull attention.
Yeah. We get to see it pretty quickly at this point, because it looks relatively similar as a start. Now how headstrong MIBR want to be about this. Looks not been having a pretty game.
Oh, it's not an Odin map, is it?
No, very true. Statistically, foul business from him on that weapon, but yeah, not going to be seeing it here. It might be 4-1 splitting up towards this, just leaving Cortesia off on his own. A super passive hold.
I could imagine Bonkar calling for more of a protocol to try to flush Cortesia out, but he's being a bit more cautious after the tag timeout rather than normally barreling up mid.
Okay, aspas in again. No threat initially towards him. You're looking at the pressure from Brock, but look at the most each player's life. Already exploring deeper. Burno removes him, sets them up for success. aspas still lethal from above.
Right there.
2 kills and the site looking contained. Will he spot him out? No. Son with the trade in the end, but MIBR with just such better numbers. Marder, not gonna happen, Cortesia. The backbone again of this. It's a scary combination. aspas on the front line, Cortesia wrapping things up. And that's a 2-round lead now to MIBR.
NRG approached this defense in a different way. Instead of all flooding out through heaven, they tried to get out through spawn instead. But Verno's ultimate collects that player in heaven and still allows aspas to take a fight towards the back. The utility pressure is so good for aspas to fight with. And he's now up at the top of the scoreboard, matching Cortesia. He's really come online on this attack. And NRG starting to trail.
Yeah, those finances looking absolutely foul. Right here. Down in the doldrums now. We've got a sheriff out for Scuba, but that's about all she wrote. So Shenlong could be on for an absolute farm fest here. Need to overstay. Got a corner to play from. And the ankle's broken a little, but it's all fine in the end. NRG. This is not the prettiest of pictures.
Oh, but MIBR have just done such a great job in this map, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Coming out to a 0-4 start, and those are half the rounds that NRG have won in the entire map so far.
And Cortesia is still amongst them.
Yeah,
So you got a breath? Absolutely not.
They got no hope here. MIBR are all over them.
Oh, they are looking good.
And this is going to be another really difficult round. Cosmic Divide, the Astra on this map gives you so many good options for post-plan, for stuns in the middle of these engagements, but also when the ult comes online, you can just run a really simple A or B hit and get the plant down a lot. Especially when Ardazina's also got that null command available. So a chance here to extend even further, apply even more pressure. Mada picks up the operator and goes to look towards B, anticipating this.
I think
He's got to be a hero.
well, they need someone, right? Like, there's not been an individual really shining for NRG. But on MIBR, you could pick 2 out currently.
Yeah.
You are divided.
I think Mada's got to get in front of this.
Just don't know if he's got the guts to do it now. At this point, they are very much on duty here. Mada, time to go, Captain. See what you can bring us here. You can see the temptation, but Aspas down from above. Brilliance on 2. But NRG fight right back. Starting to clear through the site themselves. But it's not just the one player who's the danger on MIBR. It's been Cortesia too. The absolute backline threat finally found Mada starting to heat up here. NRG sweep the players on the site, leaving just Xenom deep on this post-plant position. Paranoia for good measure. Blocking, making sure they can get this done, but Xenom getting closer. Hold on, he's making them work for their dinner. But time on defuse, got a little close, got a little dangerous. They stay alive.
Really, really dangerous. I think they would have still just had it had they not got that body block going, but man, there would have been barely any time. Getting on with a very valiant effort, but here NRG finally have a hero who steps up. These couple of kills that come through from Mada, I think, were what the doctor ordered. Yeah. And they allow NRG to get their feet underneath them.
It has felt like a drought of rounds, even though it's not been atrocious on this half. They've had a couple, but those 3 felt so one-sided.
Yeah. Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Now NRG up to some massive ultimates that can help in the retake. They just need to not lose players super early, and that's where MIBR are going to be looking to try to take these contact plays. Aspas with an attack orb, Cortesia lurking deeper down mid. You want to try to find picks as the attackers in these kind of situations, and there aren't many teams at Champs here doing it better than MIBR in these contacty rounds.
To respect the tag there. Mada going to take up the line too. Verno, I'm saying no man's land, but Brave to be sticking around here. Utility going to keep him somewhat safe, but a show of force from MIBR, but maybe not a show of intent.
Cortesia looking to try to take some space up mid. Lands with a cascade in his face. But he will still be offered an opportunity at least to take a 1v1. Rourke, Som, looking to hang around for a little here, Som. He's got one of those important ults to play with. And still 10 seconds on a high tide to get himself out. He's lost the timing here on the A split.
They are so aware. Seen just something. I think Cortesia the one to note it potentially, but the call made. And now the site looking so weak, so hard to hold. A miracle lines up for Ethan, finding both of the playthrough towards the site. It's not over yet. A 4v3 in NRG's favor.
Good protocol here to completely flush out Cortesia. Ethan, what a hero.
I can't believe what I just saw. I'll need to see that one again where he got it from. Aspas and Xenom. Didn't expect this, I'm sure, but a 2v4. Can they double down? Did Mada see him? I don't think Mada saw him. Now he certainly does, but at the very end of the ult, and now there's problems. And Aspas might just be that. Xenom's still here. Can he try and chip into this? You can't forget about Aspas! Turn around! MIBR! Punishing NRG! As Brock has to take the fight and saving them just towards the end.
What a moment for Brock to come online. They needed magic to win that one and get themselves to double digits, NRG.
How's he pulled that out of the hat? I do not know.
He had to push Xenom towards the end. He's had a really rough map fragging-wise. Hits a beautiful shot, but Ethan with these...
How? Where's it? Oh!
The second kill is ludicrous. And Ethan was on such an island. He was the only player on A. Had no support, no reinforcements. Needed a minimum of 2 there to be able to get out.
Come on!
That's a miracle. That is magic. And what a blow for MIBR.
I can't believe it. It looked like the stars were aligning between Aspas then Xenom doing so nicely on that push and pull, but you said it, Brock. He's been quiet, but what a key kill coming in for him. We go back at 11-10. MIBR still in the lead.
Mada's swapping it up here. He's gone for a deep line down mid, looking to try to fight Cortesia with the operator. This is not where Mada's usually been. He's normally been on one of the sites, looking to try to pick off an exec. But they realize that Cortesia is a problem for them. So they're committing resources, making it feel like the Oppa isn't here by smoking their own Oppa off. And then when this cascade drops, hoping that Mada can get a kill. But his gate crash is about to expire. Oh, I tell a lie, that's his second one already used.
Yeah, really wanting to stick around on this. And now he's starting to see the timing as well. Pressure on the side. It's a reward for Mada. Takes down Cortesia and now can focus up towards the fight may come through. This has changed the plans for MIBR.
It certainly has, and a good adjustment from NRG. They've really been struggling with Cortesia, but they're starting to get a read. His KD coming back down to mortal levels. And Mada already making the adjustment. Swapping over to the weaker side of the map. Just him and Scuba, but that's a dangerous duo to try to get through.
30 seconds left.
Holding the line here, Mada. Trying to play in support if needed. MIBR knocking at the door now. 3 players very close by, looking for a potential. 15 seconds. Mada with an opportunity that just slipped away. Plant comes in.
10 seconds
NRG
left.
need to steady the ship now.
Scanning ahead.
Flash, Recon looking to put pressure over towards B-Link. Here come NRG.
Yeah, locked and loaded. Ethan already clears Aspas. Verno couldn't land the shots and flooding back in. NRG putting it down to 1 man. And with a desperate attempt before, this time, impossible things. NRG out of nowhere, bringing this back to 11 apiece.
This round, successful game plan. Previous one, absolute miracle. But you get both sides of that. Both sides of what teams need in order to make runs at champs like this. God, Mada didn't even have the proper crosshair placement there too. He had to flick around to catch that.
Absolutely nuts, and Ethan, I've got to say as well, this guy's starting to really heat up too.
Yeah. They're not happy about that.
Well,
Verno's mum supporting from the sidelines. A serious journey that her son's been on. We talked about it a little before, just in terms of like going from team to team, but also in terms of learning so much this year about becoming a team leader, about becoming an IGL. Bonkar, the coach of NRG, was talking about how when he used to coach Verno, he was looking to become an IGL and wanted that kind of steering in the right direction. But I think if you had asked them earlier on in the year, that didn't seem likely from our position outside of things. Verno and Bonkar both ended up coming out of the starting roster for NRG at the same time, and then Bonkar's come back to a lot of success. It has been topsy-turvy. It's so sick to see them fighting against each other and the battle of ideas between these two teams in moments like this.
it is marvelous, really. You only have to look as far as Ethan as well. If you're talking about doubted IGLs, will they be able to come into their own here? Top of the board, and now back on level footing up against MIBR. 3 back-to-back rounds, you said it, 1 miracle and then 1 hard fought for. Hard to pin down, but still a purchase in play here for MIBR, so the finance is not too woeful just yet. The next round is a whole different story.
Mada goes for the jump, lands it.
He's got it.
Oh, and
he's
a TP.
Ethan's here as well. Oh, this could be absolutely brilliant. But on the other side, does MIBR feel this out? Does something feel off?
But this feels like Ethan and Brock are the playmakers here, not Mada.
Time to jump.
So they could run into the op. Detected.
Mada, you are a madman sticking around on that just for another tick. But MIBR do their diligence, right? They've cleared through A main now.
Yeah, they've dismantled a lot of the traps, but they've also run out of their drone. Now, one of the other key adjustments that MIBR have made out of the tag timeout, look at how Cortesia is now tight to the pack. Instead of going for that lurk up through mid, he's abandoned that. NRG will still have to think about it, but Cortesia is their A insert instead.
MIBR taking that long old walk. Scuba on the other side. 38 seconds.
I'm wondering if Scuba wants to hard anchor this or play for some kind of retake. His flash would be good in a retake scenario. He's got no help. It would be insanely bold to try to anchor this.
I think he's rescinded correctly at this point. As you said, there was really no one that close by. Yes, Som near enough, but the rest of the team still unwilling to back away from A, even though we can see where this plant is going to be coming into. Nothing to deny it now.
His defensive setup here from the Vice forces everybody over to Cliff. He knows it's a Cliff plant, but they don't have that flash anymore.
Finally coming over towards the right side. It's taken a couple of seconds. Aspas heads up work.
Arda still with double flash.
Playing into the smoke here. Contact starts to be made. They're starting to flood the site, but they're going to even be aware of this. Cortezia playing on the site here. Strike from up above. Aspas again, slicing through them. Cortezia in unison is down to Som. I don't know how much one man can truly do. And he does everything he could, but MIBR stick the landing. In regulation, getting up to 12.
Match point.
What a strong recovery it's been on this map. Their pick. Important you get out onto good footing. All three of them should be good for both teams. Here I want to give credit to the fact that they're playing around the flashes so well. They were playing anti-inside Shen on smoke to dodge Mada's flashes, and then Ardazine sends a couple over the top to help the swing. Everyone blind on NRG. So different to the previous retake. Both teams doing such a good job of adapting to each other in these tight moments. Pressure on NRG for sure.
Oh, he's doing it again. Oh! Gotta get out of there. This time Aspas is not giving you that level of freedom. Does this encourage the pace change now? Certainly looking like it, but Mada's still present, still on duty. But Aspas back in the side trying to hunt him down. He's found a target, but he gets dropped. Brock again, heroics in the final hours. And now just down to 2, Genum and Verno. Well, not in. Site not secure. Issues are plenty. And their heavy hitters down already. Uphill to say the least. Verno.
Last player standing.
I have the spike.
All on him now. Like it's gonna be OT, surely. Verno, if you're gonna prove me wrong, I'll happily eat these words. Oh, a very nice try, but NRG, stability to push up to 12. It's gonna be OT.
These two Americas teams that have overperformed expectations all throughout. There's just no way that you can find a difference between them. Neck and neck the whole way through when we go to OT. Stepping up when required. Brock with 2 big rounds now, despite the fact he's bottom of the scoreboard with 8 kills. He has been important for them when it matters.
Thoroughly impressed. Kind of seeing the best of both sides pushing up towards this 12-12 scoreline and getting to OT.
MIBR has used their OT tack timeout instantly. You almost never see that.
That is a rarity.
That is really unusual that we're going into overtime and already have a tactical timeout for MIBR to adjust to their defense setup. And this is one, remember, where NRG are not going to have their ult snowball. You just don't get that in overtime. So it's a very different game. It's much more about those opening round protocols. I would expect Aspas to be looking to force an op every round here on the defense side. And maybe Mada as well once we get the side swapping. But there's just been so much tactical, small tactical adjustments between these two teams.
Oh, the layers between the both. I mean, we've seen it coming out of the timeouts, but even just simply mid-game, the adjustments have been exceptional. Working around each other, understanding those win cons in the smallest ways. And even just looking at the board, can't help but highlight Cortezia and Aspas. I mean, phenomenal level of performance here. But on the other side, Som quietly getting up there, Ethan with some heroics. Brock again. It just feels like when it was in, you know, the desperate times, he'll bail you out with a couple of kills.
If MIBR don't have Aspas and Cortezia shooting, though, that could be a worry for them in OT, so there's a lot of pressure on those 2 pillars. Over towards the B side of the map, going to see that same protocol we talked about earlier from NRG, the cascade into the flash, and they're holding back at the beginning of the round to dodge the knife early from Ardazine. But instead of a knife, they go for the cam deep cliff.
Found my wire. Right here.
Small adjustments.
Yeah, Ardazine holding this 0 point for a long time. Second cascade, when's he going to throw it? Now, catches so many targets.
Here we go, Aspas waiting. Artin on the side-by-side. We do also have Cortezia now here, NRG. Cautious scaling up. Mada.
Oh, the cam saving Ardazine from a push there. Trying to make something funky happen with Mada and Ethan. But I think...
Oh, Verno is as well.
Yeah, Verno is so pushed up. What a peek. Good
Heads
awareness.
up. Yeah, I mean, Brock there, just ingenious work from him to be even considering that.
But you've been boxed in here. Verno's a threat, pushed back again. Good work by Som. But Verno's still going to know that you're not going A. There are still going to be 3 defenders on this B site. Having said that, NRG boldly pushing up, looking to end towards the Aspas op.
That sentence alone should strike fear into most people, but NRG feeling confident enough to go for it. 27 seconds. Get ready for this. Set up, set in. Aspas finally dealt with Ethan and Marta, playing together in unison, claiming the site, getting the plant, and making it look oh so simple.
They needed that aggression from Ethan. He was doing a bit of a fake of it over towards B, and now the real deal, on A.
Oh, but Cortesia still a threat in the back lines here. Hunting closer, 3 players put to target, deal with him, still claims 1. But a 2v3, Shenum and Artisan, Ethan playing deeper again. Body on the line, life on the line. Try and defuse. Try and take this round from us. Ethan won't let it happen. And Artisan's options become less and less likely with 14 HP.
Nice knowing you.
He knows it. Has to stand for this one. NRG. Bold in approach there, but Ethan diving in towards that front line as well. Taking that side fight was everything.
It really was. The way that Mata and Ethan went in together here and overwhelmed Aspas, got them the side. But it's also the macro. I mean, I thought that Verno had done such a good job of giving them info that things were going to end towards B, but NRG take the risk, keep pushing Verno further and further back, and actually end on the weak side of the map. A great mid-round adjustment there for Ethan, because the coach's ideas favored MIBR early on. I think they got the more benefit out of the tack timeout, but Ethan making that mid-round audible gave his team map point.
MIBR now on this attacking side. 3-2 split to begin.
Oh, Mata just tanks it and sticks around. No value from the drone. You don't know if he's gone now anyway, right? He could still be there. He could have taken his gate crash, could have refreshed it and be looking to use the second one.
Man, this guy, he strikes fear in my heart. I'm not even in the server. Som has got his work cut out to deal with him. He has not been an easy player to handle. And look at the respect on both sides of this mid-split.
Yeah.
Both players having to watch for his work.
He pulls a lot of attention. I think MIBR, Verno will be starting to think now that NRG must be going and dealing with mid, because they're putting a lot of pressure there. That should weaken the sights. But I mean, we look at it, and Mata and Ethan want to fight. They lose it though.
Oh no, Mata in no man's land. It puts all of that pressure on Ethan's shoulders. They do continue to go towards B. Again, if you're Som, do you ignore Cortesia? Try and help out your player on the side. Great paranoia, good stall. Som, slippery work from him, and Ethan feeling audacious, getting into their faces, but Cortesia, we knew there was always going to be that threat there. They tried to ignore it, but you can't ignore him. And now the patience paying for MIBR. Did he still consider it? Som with a good one, but Ethan's still here. Amongst them all, Ethan finally, oh my god, he finally gets caught. MIBR navigating every single hurdle put in their way. But Scuba, you might as well fight it forward. You got 3 more to clear. There's a close angle. 2 complementary positions behind in case it gets deadly. And I think it's going to be a classic swing together. You can't handle them all. MIBR, not down and not out. Cortesia firing up the boys again.
Yeah, he is gassing them up because he's also providing insane pressure on that mid lurk. NRG cannot find a solution for it. We've seen it in a couple of rounds, but on the day-to-day, they're just losing players constantly. And Ethan is in a dangerous position, but it's all about the patience. They just wait out the smoke. They just sit there, never peek into it, and allow Ethan to be stuck in no man's land. Aspas picks up the op again.
Here.
We go into our second round of OT.
There we go, Aspas, unpredictable, but okay, respecting the early utility, doesn't want to give up too much here. It is OT. And look at the tempo from NRG. Pacey. Take through connector in mid.
Oh, this was actually a fake. They were faking the A-split, and they wanted Ethan to be the playmaker. He got droned by Verno, so now they've got to reset. It's got to be a different audible. You could actually fake B and go back into the A-split, the original idea. Ethan with options, and it comes down to his audibles, his mid-round calling again. Tested once more as a leader.
Oh, this is sketchy though, isn't it? Because it becomes this kind of creative solution, right? Do we work off Som being where he is? No, we want to bail him out, actually. Pull Som away. So he's going to be reset towards middle, and they reset completely.
Yeah, really solid reset because they're expecting MIBR to be trying to flush this out. That's not the case, though. MIBR giving no respect to the mid threat. All here to defend.
I mean, it's told you enough, right? That's in, though. Unwilling to relent from the corner. Going to take away Marta. Confidence aplenty, and the line still held. not rescinding away by any means. 30 seconds and NRG's options are starting to dwindle. Look a bit dreary. Cortesia now, standing guard. He's got support. MIBR, shoulder to shoulder, denying NRG any step up on the site. Brilliant work from MIBR.
And Arzine flexes his muscles as well. He was incredible in their previous game. Unleashed and finds a big round here to be able to help his team with a triple kill. He's had a lot more success with his rifle ever since. I mean, at this tournament, now that the team's got their feet underneath them and they're really enjoying having Verno there as the IGL, Arzine's getting a lot more value out of his fragget. Came in as the worst statistical player in Champs by a long margin. And you would not believe it if you were just watching his recent games.
No.
Because he's having big impact moments. I think there, though, the biggest difference is the fact that NRG got cleared on that mid-pressure early on. Every round, Sommer's been putting cascades towards B main. The one round where you see the cascade go early towards mid, Verno knows there's something up. So, credit to him for being able to discover what's going on, and now he's given his team another opportunity.
Didn't expect it to be this close. I thought it'd be a nice competitive game, but
it's so back and forth.
Yeah, it is wild.
I'll tell you what, the group stage game in Americas between these two teams was a good one, and that was when nobody believed in MIBR. They were already out of playoffs, or maybe that was the loss that led to them being out of playoffs after they crashed out of Toronto, but it was high quality. It was NRG taking it away 2-0 if memory serves, but you know, you could tell that MIBR had got something cooking, and with them missing out on playoffs, we didn't get to see the continuation of that development until they arrived here at Champs. But, man, they've grown.
Oh, absolutely. You can see it in every single round. This isn't just that mechanical brilliance. It's the calling behind it, the adaptation behind it. Is this a simplistic end to a complicated game? All eyes towards A.
Rourke saves the recon. Been using it to try to stop that first wave.
Cover going out.
Good in these key rounds as well. A couple of kills here and there, but this looks like it's pacey. Oh, Ethan, hold on, that paranoia. Again, Ethan putting life on the line for this. Exceptional work, but now pinned down, no help. No one to bail him out, to draw eyes away, and now being hunted down. Rourke's barely alive on 32. Plant's going to be coming in for Verno.
Aspas could be the playmaker as well. He's going around the houses.
Oh my God, how is he down here? No one any the wiser. There is a threat right behind you. He's still gonna get two. Scuba and Som eviscerated by Spawn. 3 players remaining for MIBR to try and take this across the line. Marder, though, unwilling to relent just yet. Looking for more chances. And more victims to drop. NRG giving this a damn good go. And Brock can at least get towards half here. That's big work from him, but Marder! That is what the doctor ordered after what I thought was a slam dunk from Aspas.
Aspas's position and the 2K that he gets, he plays it with exceptional patience, and I think it should have given MIBR the map win.
Surely, right?
And instead, I mean, look at this. The reaction is actually pretty good. They turn around quickly, but it's Marder's kill. And the isolation onto Verno, Shannon not playing off his teammate, playing instead for a pull, but it's not planted for him. A horrible spot to drop back to. And Aspas drops 30 with that play, and yet still the scoreline tied at 14 apiece. Nothing between these two teams.
So hard to split them, and we haven't seen this sort of heavyweight level from Marder. But that's a big round. That's one to get the blood pumping off of that. NRG back to the attack. We'll see MIBR trying to steady things down again.
So this round, NRG go for mid-pressure, but without the cascade, right? So it does feel a little different to MIBR. They don't really know what to expect off the back of this, but I think crucially, NRG are never breaking these trips. Look at Cortesia's trip deep, and now they go back into Aspas on a weird angle again.
We're going to clear this, right? Yeah, we absolutely are. Brilliant clear on this one. And Marder even with the catch. I thought Aspas was going to get away with that, but no. NRG tightening things up as they go deeper into this OT. What's the plan now, MIBR? You've been good in these positions. You've handled the pressure well. But there's high paranoia about mid-pressure.
Yeah, they're worried about a mid-lurk that doesn't exist. It's going to delay them slightly, but still, retake could be on.
Ethan getting ratty in these smokes here. Shorty out though. Gem gonna clear. That's now down to a 4v4. Marta trying to be slippery on the side, but he gets found by Cortesia. 3v3, back and forth. Som on a good line there. Gonna catch Shenum on the push-up. See it, Artisan trying to shoulder, and he is going to win his fight. Quick bomb flash potentially, the fuse started. Artisan putting everything into this Brock, has been good in the clutch scenarios, but it's got to go now! NRG taking back the lead!
What a round towards the end, and again it's Brock in a really critical situation. He had to find such a tight time in there. If he waited for his recon to get confirmation, I think there's a chance that Cortesia just full sticks that. Because Cortesia is so confident.
Yeah.
Look at this, he has to swing at the exact same time as the recon, otherwise, I don't know if he has that, and that's elation in the NRG camp.
Ethan's up, Som's up.
Can MIBR fend it off?
Feels like they can though, right? These have been so close, but Verno having to really pull this team up now.
Mada with the op in mid, looking to try to catch onto Cortesia. He knows how confident Cortesia is. This time in a different position. Remember, last time Mada got the punish, he was pushed up towards the box, towards that bookshelf. Now playing a more passive line.
So tense between the two. Can't make mistakes at this point.
If you lose the lurker, who's been putting so much pressure on and has 25 kills, it could all be over. And he's playing it cautiously. Got that feeling in the back of his mind. Something's up.
Enemy mark.
No info, not a lot. 45 seconds, they've given away very little here.
Som doesn't, Ethan doesn't have a smoke to be able to play in at the moment, though is still on cooldown. Now getting himself into an anchor spot. 2 seconds on his defensive smoke.
30 seconds, they gotta go now. Aspas on the way, slowed down slightly, but Ethan's still alive. Has support from Som coming in. You gotta look at MIBR on the line. Aspas breaking in, but Marta with a good trade, taking away Cortesia. We told you about this man. That fight on the site, however. Look for the plant, it's in play, and they're sticking around. They're not backing away as Marta dropping the bodies, leaving just Artisan alive. Good on the first, hold on. He's looking for it. Just about gets away to a deeper angle to play with here. Marta looking to gap close forward as well. Try and toy with him. Shorty out in hand. Artisan, this would be everything to keep your team in this. Do you have it in you? Spots one, takes one. It's down to the 1v1. Doesn't expect Marta, but sees him now. Shorty getting closer. Artisan 50 HP. And Marta breaks his heart with the Shorty. NRG forced deep into this OT, but make it to the ever fought for 16th.